Hello, my name is Sally Pinto, and I'm the Program Director for the Yonkers NORC, Neighborhood Naturally Occurring Retirement Community. We serve seniors 60 plus in Northeast Yonkers. We are under the auspices of WJCS and the Yonkers Office for the Aging. We also have a resource specialist and a nurse on staff. We conduct virtual programming in partnership with the Yonkers Public Library on a daily basis. Enjoy the program.
We're going to go ahead and get started. I worked out during my vacation, guys, just so you know. I was off for 2 weeks, and I worked out every day, but 2 days I took off. All right, so here we go, guys. Let's sit up or stand up nice and tall. Imagine that imaginary string holding us up nice and tall. Really good posture, rolling the shoulders back. Chin tucks for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now we have our head turns. Still nice and tall. Here we go. We're going to turn, center, turn, center, turn, 3, turn, 4, turn, 5, turn, 6, turn, 7, turn, 8, turn, 9, and turn 10. Okay, now we're going to go into the remainder of our workout for time. We're going to do 30 seconds per move. We're going to do seated cat-cow. So I'm kind of towards the edge of my chair here. Okay, my hands are resting on my knees here. Okay, and we're going to tuck and around, right? And then we're going to exhale. We're going to untuck and look up. Okay, so we're really trying to think of waking up the spine here. Okay, here we go. Bending and flexing in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. We're going to round our chin down. Ooh, that's loud. And then exhale and untuck and look up. And then just keep repeating that pattern. Feeling the spinal cord, the vertebrae just kind of flexing and extending. Trying to create nice movement through the spine. A few more seconds here, just 5 seconds. 2 and 1. Okay, now we're going to do our lateral side bends. Okay, so we're going to side, and I'm going to tap and reach with the other leg. Okay, so side. Think of a nice long stretch all along the side of the body here. Okay, just reaching up and over, up and over, up and over. So waking everything up. 2, 1. We're going to keep on, and now we're going to twist. Okay, so now we're going to press and twist. Feel the torso twist. 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 All right, so just feeling that movement through your midsection there. Three more seconds. And time. Okay, now we're going to do a butt kicker with the straight arm pushback. So we're going to push back with our palms. Push back, and we're tapping back. Okay, I want you to think about a little tiny stretch through the front of the shoulder here. Okay, see if you can feel that stretch. We're also warming up the hamstrings. 2 and 1. All right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to open our feet slightly here, and we're going to do our cherry kickers. Out, middle, in, up. Out, middle, in, up. So starting to warm up our lower back and our hips here. Up. Do one more after this. Good, and our last one is going to be a alternating knee lift with slight rotation. All right, getting a nice core contraction as we lift that knee up and rotate over. I like to give a nice exhale, trying to blow air out of my belly as I twist and rotate to really get deep into those abdominal muscles. 2 and 1. Okay, there is our warm up. Today, we are going to do 5 blocks. Okay, one more block than usual, but they're supersets. They're just 2 exercises per set. Let's shake it up a little bit. Okay, so we are going to do our first superset. Excuse me. Stay hydrated. It's so hot today. 95 degrees, I think it's coming up to. Our compound movements are going to be our good morning with our knee raise and oblique twist. We have been doing this one. The seated variation is I'm on the edge of my chair, right? I'm hinging forward. I'm trying to keep length through my spine here too. Okay, so if you're seated, I'm trying to see that. I'm keeping that length. I'm not rounding forward as I come down. I'm trying to really just hinge through the hip here, okay? All right, so we're gonna hinge, and then we do a knee raise and twist, just like in our warm-up we just did. Knee raise, twist. Okay, so remember our standing variation, feet are about hip to shoulder width apart. Push the hips back as the head goes forward. Squeeze the glutes to return up. Twist, okay? Other side. We twist, okay? So that's our first exercise. And our second one is another compound movement. We're going to do a sit, squat, curl, and press. So if you are seated, you are going to be doing leg extension, curl, and press, okay? Your standing variation is drive it up, okay? Curl, press, down. Drive it up, curl, press, down, okay? So 3 rounds of those 2 movements. Here we go. We're going to start with our good morning to knee raise and oblique twist. I'm going to do my first round seated like always, okay? Here we go in 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're going to hinge it forward, squeeze the glutes to bring it back, nice neutral spine, and twist over one knee. And again. All right, nice, good core movements to start with. Working our glutes and lower back with the good morning. And the core and hip flexors with the oblique knee raise. Almost done. We got 5 more seconds. 2 and 1. Okay, now we're going to get ready for our sit, squat, curl, and press. Or if you're going to stay seated with me, we're going to alternate a leg extension and curl and press, okay? That is our seated variation. Here we go in 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to extend the leg, and then curl and press, okay? Keeping that foot flexed so I can get a nice contraction on the top of the leg there, the quadricep. Squeeze, squeeze. Sitting up nice and tall. Remember that marionette puppet master, that string holding you up nice and tall. All right. We've got 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so now we're going back to that first exercise. I'm going to move to standing for the next 2 rounds, okay? Our good morning, or our hinge movement with our knee raise and oblique twist, okay? I like to do it from the side profile here for you guys, all right? Here we go. We're going to hinge, squeeze the glutes to lift yourself up, rotate and twist. Sometimes you might find that that's really challenging to find that core control and that balance. Listen to that body's feedback, okay? It's talking to you. You feel that ankle wiggle a little bit. There's little receptors, right? Little receptors in your ankle there trying to help you find that stable ground. Squeeze the glutes to lift up. All right, I'm keeping my belly button drawn back towards my spine to keep that rib or that core engaged. And time. Okay, moving back to our sit, squat, curl, and press. Or you're going to do your alternating leg extension and curl and press if you prefer to stay seated, okay? And maybe you're going to mix up some rounds. Maybe you're going to do one round this way, drive it up, curl and press, and the other 2 rounds with the leg extensions, okay? You can mix it up, tailor it to what works for you. Sitting it down, I'm driving through the heels of my feet, squeezing my glutes. Lowering down. Remember, I press through my heels as I stand up. That helps get into the glute there, okay? A lot of time we have sleepy glutes. We got to wake up. In our daily life, we do more sitting than maybe our bodies were necessarily designed to do. Okay. One more round through, guys, okay? One more round through. Back to our hinge or good morning to knee raise and oblique twist, okay? In 3, 2, 1. I'm going to push the hips back. Squeeze the glutes to lift myself up. Twist over that knee. Nice and controlled. Take your time. Feel the muscles we're intending to work. Some days this might feel easier than others. This is feeling challenging for me today. Just twist. There we go. That one was a little bit longer. Good. 5 more seconds here. 2 and time. Okay, last round of sit, squat, curl, and press. All right, so grabbing your weights or keeping it body weight, that's fine too. You can just pretend you're holding on to something if that's if you don't have anything, okay? Here we go. We're going to drive it up, squeeze, curl, press, or you're giving me those all leg extensions and back down. So we're taking our sit, squat, and our curl and press, and we're putting it together for one fluid movement, right? Working everything in the body here. This is a total body movement. I'm really trying to feel my glutes engage as I drive up, as I stand up here. By pressing my heels in, I'm squeezing, squeeze, 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 curl, press, right? Good. List 3, 2, and 1. Okay, that is our first superset. All right, so go ahead and get hydrated. Again, and remember, take sips of water throughout this whole entire, whenever you need to, okay? If you have to stop for a second just to stay hydrated, please do that. Okay, so next superset is going to be an alternating lunge, okay? And a lateral raise to bicep curl. So our alternating lunge for the seated position is going to be our alternating seated leg press. All right, so I'm kind of keeping my core engaged, right? I'm leaning back slightly and I'm pressing and driving through my heel. And then if you're doing the standing variation, you're going to go ahead and hold onto the back of your chair here, okay? And you're going to go ahead, step it back, drop it down, drive it up, bring it back, okay? If your lunges, or sometimes if you feel like the coordination, especially since we're switching legs, we're going from one leg and then to the other leg and then one leg to the other leg, I want you to break the movement apart, okay? So what I mean by saying that is 1, 2, 3, 4, other leg. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes when we break it apart and we count it out, the coordination comes better than if we're just trying to go from one leg and then the other leg. Your rhythm isn't as methodical, I guess. So I think that counting it out and breaking it apart sometimes helps, get that movement, the quality of the movement. Okay. So I'll count. I'll count it out for a few reps in the beginning, but I don't want to do it the whole time in case we're moving at different paces. I don't want your numbers to mess up with mine, but just to give you a better idea of what that looks like. And then the lateral raise, the bicep curl. It's going to look the same seated or standing, guys. Okay. Lateral raise, bicep curl. Okay. Lateral raise, bicep curl. I want you to think, remember that puppet master above us with those strings. Okay. The string is on our elbow. So when those strings get lifted, it's from the elbow that everything's lifted up. Okay. I don't want you to think of your hand with the weight being the part that lifts your arm up. I want you to think closer in. Remember, I said proximal and distal sides of the body 2 weeks ago or so. Okay, so the closer end of the body is where you want to think of that movement initiating at. Okay, and you're working right here, the top of the shoulder. If coming out to the side is really hard for you to do, sometimes with shoulders are tricky. If that's too hard, take it back to our curl and press that we just did here. Okay. That's your alternative there. Okay, so here we go, guys. I'm starting in the seated position with my alternating leg press. If you'd like to start out with the lunges right away, the alternating lunges, please do that. Okay, I'm at the edge of my chair, so I have room to kind of lean back here slightly, scoop my core out. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Now lift up, press something heavy away, bring it back. So I'm through the heel of my foot. Good. You've got to create that resistance by imagining, okay, use your imagination that you're really pressing and pushing something away to engage those muscles, okay? You should really feel it through the top of your leg here, the quadricep, as well as right here when I'm doing that in the glute, okay? And the core is working the whole time because you kind of scooped back here a little bit. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, good. Next, we're going to go into our lateral raise to bicep curls. Remember, we're leading that movement up through the elbows, okay? Not the hands, but like the elbows, okay? In 3, 2, 1, nice and tall, lateral raise, and now a bicep curl, okay? Remember, if this is too hard to go out to the sides, if this gives you pain, okay? Not discomfort, sometimes discomfort, like, ow, like I'm working my muscles hard, they're getting tired, you know, that's okay, right? But, you know, I'm talking about that acute pain, that sharp pain, that feels like, you know, injury is upon you, okay? Go ahead and either take you can go to a curl to press like we did in the first round, or take even the press out and just go just to the bicep curls and give them just bicep curls right here, okay? Good. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, that's round 1. Top of round 2, we're going to go to our alternating leg press or our alternating lunges. I'm going to move to our standing variation, so you'll see me doing the lunges. I'm going to count out the first few to give you an idea of if you feel like your coordination's off, this is a good way to do it, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm going to be quiet now so you guys can count at your own tempo, just in case it's different than mine. Just remember, you're driving through the front leg, that heel, just like our sit squats. Okay, you're really pressing through. All right, you want that heel connected to the floor. If it's popping up, oh, in time. There we go. Okay. Ooh, catch your breath. Oh, I kind of took my breath. Lateral raise, the bicep curl, seated or standing, whatever works best for you here. Okay. If you're standing, just remember, squeeze your glutes, keep your core engaged. All right, we're lifting up through the elbows, and then a bicep curl. And again, if this lateral movement hurts the shoulders, causes pain, then go ahead to either take it to our overhead press, curl and overhead press, or just the bicep curl. Take the shoulder workout completely if it's painful, okay? Remember, with these movements here, We're working the top of the shoulder, and we're also working our biceps. Five more seconds. And time. Excellent. Okay. Already on to our final round. These supersets kind of roll quick. Okay. So back to our alternating lunges or our alternating leg press. Okay. I'll count out the first two here. All right. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep it going at your own tempo. Go down as far as your body will allow you, okay? Don't push it, I might be going down further than maybe your body wants you to. You don't have to try to match how far I'm going down. What I want you to focus on is keeping that heel connected to the ground so that you can really drive up through it and engage that glute. Okay, we're almost through. Last 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Okay. Final round of lateral raise to bicep curl. Again, if that lateral motion hurts and you want to come here, you can do that, or just take it to just a bicep curl. All right. And time. Here we go. Leading through the elbows. We're going to break after this. Some more water. And remember, like I always say, these time formats they're just a guide. If you need to take more rest, please do so, especially when it's hotter, okay? Our body definitely works a lot harder when it's a lot hotter out. 2, and time. Okay, good. So we're going to break here and get a drink and go into our next block. Usually my water bottles are room temperature. Just keep them out. This one I threw one in the freezer earlier. I think I have to start chilling my water. So much nicer. Okay. Rdl Row is next. Okay. So from our standing position, our feet are underneath our hips. Okay. They're hip width apart here. All right. And we hinge, right? Nice neutral spine. Okay. So we're pushing the hips back. Okay. Remember, we don't want to go through our shoulders down because it'll kind of look like this, right? We don't want that, right? We want the hips back so everything stays nice and straight through here. We're going to row it from here, one back row, and then we're going to use the glutes to squeeze and lift up straight, okay? Now, our seated variation is kind of like our cherry pickers where we're on the edge of our seat, okay? We're going to hinge it forward. I still have that neutral spine, row it, and then come up straight, okay? And then we are doing our goal post fly with this one, okay? So this, if you have maybe a 1 or 2 pound pair of dumbbells, you could do that, but I'd stay very light, or just like for me, I'm probably just gonna do body weight, okay? And what I'm trying to do is think of squeezing all through the back of my shoulders here, okay? And in between my shoulder blades, I'm trying to squeeze those together, okay? So that's where your focus is on that exercise. So that's gonna look the same seated or standing. So let's get back to it. Top of block 3. All right, and we're going into our Rdl row. All right, or hinge and row. I'm going to do the first round seated. All right, so here we go. Let's hinge in 3, 2, and 1. Nice neutral spine. We're going to hinge forward, row it, and then come up. I like doing the combo movement for this one, especially because sometimes staying bent over the whole time to do bent over rows can feel a little stressful on the back. So this combines 2 exercises in one. The Rdl or the hinge lets us work on the hamstrings and glutes. And then the row lets us work on our back muscles and our biceps. And it also gives us a brief period of rest so that the lower back doesn't feel, too much strain there. 3, 2, and one. Okay, so our next movement is our goalpost fly here. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and make that goalpost. All right, 90-degree bend at the elbows here. I'm gonna bring them together, and then I'm gonna exhale and squeeze back, okay, and feel that nice stretch through the front. Squeeze back. So we're working our back with this movement. Squeeze. Back of the shoulders, our traps, these are muscles that help us stand up straight. Over time, you know, we're slouching forward, they get stretched out and loose. So these are the kind of movements that you do to help bring it back. And we're not for the faint of heart. Like, I'm sore right now. I feel this. 10 more seconds here. Shake it out if you need to and come back to it, okay? 3, 2, and 1. Woo, about that. I worked my back really hard yesterday, so it's probably part of the reason that I feel it so much. All right, I'm going to go to standing now. Stay seated if you prefer. It's back to our Rdl row, okay? Feet under hips. Here we go. We push the hips back. Nice neutral long spine. Row it up. Use the glutes to squeeze and stand up. And squeeze. So we get our back with that bend over row. And the Rdl, the hamstrings and glutes with the hinge movement. This works, all these two movements put together, works the back side of the body, the posterior chain of the body, okay? So everything on the back side. And time, all right? Back to our goalpost flies. You can do these seated or standing. In 3, 2, and 1. So when I'm standing here, I'm really keeping my glutes engaged, okay? That's gonna automatically, by squeezing your glutes, that's gonna automatically engage your core here as well. And I'm squeezing my shoulder blades and pulling back, okay? So think it's stretching and elongating the chest and the shoulders in the front. Stretch right there, okay? And when you think of the back, we're squeezing and strengthening, okay? And again, if it gets tiresome and you have to shake it out for a second, that's okay, all right? 3, 2, and 1. Let's shake it out. Feel that, okay? One more time through, okay? Remember, this time's a guide. If you need a little extra rest before you start, go ahead and do that. Maybe you need a sip of water or something like that, okay? Here we go, back to our hinge and row. Feet under hips. We're gonna push the hips back, neutral spine. Row it up. Squeeze the glutes to stand it up, all right? Nice and controlled, nice and focused. Trying to really talk to the muscles. So when we're hinged over and we're rowing, we're working the back. We're talk to those muscles. And now the glutes and hamstrings as we stand it up. We've got 10 more seconds and then we're all done with these. 2, and 1. All right. All done with those. Our final round of goalposts and flies. Okay. Our goalpost flies. You can do these seated or standing. They, you know, either way is fine with these. We're going to squeeze the core or the glutes if you're standing. All right. Elbows pull back. Okay. So stretch in the front. The chest and the shoulders get a nice stretch here. All right. And then squeeze, you get a nice contraction through the back. Nice and focused. We're gonna break after this, get another drink. We have about 10 seconds left. 5, 2, Woo, shake that out. Feel that? Okay, go ahead and get a drink. We're done our third superset. Oops, what am I doing here? That's not what I want to do. That's it. Okay, so next, we're on the block where we have 2 more supersets. We're going to get a little more conditioning with these last 2, a little more cardiovascular. We did our strength work in the first 3 supersets. Now we're going to go to our jab, cross, hook, hook. Okay, so jab, cross, hook, hook. All right, so boxing moves are good for core, right? Because you're really engaging your core and trying to it's almost like anti-rotation. It's almost like when you're jab, cross, you're almost trying not to move too much through here, okay? So you're working your core by telling it to stay still, right? Does that make sense, right? So you have to stop, you're resisting it from turning too far, right? Otherwise, if you keep them going, you're not hitting the target, okay? So you're working it by resisting from too much rotation in that jab cross, okay? Now, when we do our hook, hook, now you're adding that rotation a little bit. You get a little more rotation through there, okay? And you're hitting your obliques and you're exhaling. So you get a lot of core work, you get conditioning, it's going to elevate your heart rate. And there's a little bit of power involved through these movements as we do them, because you're trying to, you're trying to give it your all, right? You're trying to hit hard and come back, hit hard and come back, okay? So there's a little bit of explosiveness with it. Now, for coordination purposes, don't worry about that explosiveness if you're just trying to, get the pattern, okay? Don't worry about that. That'll come in time, okay? But they're just some of the benefits of, boxing moves like that. Great for upper body strength too. Your back. I used to do full kickboxing classes. A lot of the whole class, the whole 45 minutes was different kind of punches and kicks. I would be so sore in my back the next day from doing all these punches. I'm just punching the air, right? Okay, so great upper body work. And we're going to pair that with our lateral 3-step march to heart hold. So from a seated position, we'll go 1, 2, 3, hold. 1, 2, 3, hold. Okay, so we do the 3. So every other time you're holding on that knee. From the standing position, it's 1, 2, 3, hold. 1, 2, 3, hold. 1, 2, 3, hold. Okay, so you're stopping. You're creating momentum by moving in that lateral plane, and then all of a sudden you're telling your body to stop. You've started this momentum. It wants to keep on going, but you're saying, no, stop. Okay, so that's going to challenge your core and your balance. All right. Okay, so here we go. Jab, cross, hook, hook. I'm going to do my first round seated in 3, 2, and 1. We're going to go ahead, knuckles up towards the face. Jab, cross, hook, hook. Jab, cross, at your own pace. So we're increasing the intensity by doing movements that are going to up our heart rate. Last 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Now we're going to do our lateral 3-step to hold. Okay. This is also the sometimes you'll see football players doing this during practice. It's called the Icky Shuffle or the Heisman Shuffle, where they do it really fast. 1, 2, 3, hold. 1, 2, 3, hold. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, hold. 1, 2, 3, hold. 1, 2, 3, hold. So on the third. 1, 2, 3, hold. 1, 2, 3, hold. 1, 2, 3, hold. 2. And if you can, get that opposite hand foot pattern going, okay? That's really good for your cognitive health there. One, two, three, and time. Okay, back to the top with our jab cross, hook, hook. I'm gonna move to standing. You can stay seated if that's better for you here, all right? So 45 seconds, all right? Knuckles up, here we go. To protect the face, we're gonna jab, cross, jab, cross, jab, cross. Jab, cross, jab, cross, jab, cross. Have fun with that. I always find these to be kind of empowering. Ten more seconds. Three, up, and time. Okay. Woo. Feeling that. All right. Sometimes you don't notice your heart rate's up until you stop. And then you're like, oh, I'm breathing a little heavy. All right. If you need extra rest, take it here. We're going back to our lateral 3-step and hold. Okay. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, hold. 1, 2, 3, hold. 1, 2, 3, hold. If you're advanced, you might even go a little faster than I'm going. It's more challenging than it looks. 2, and time. Okay. One more time through. Deep breaths. If you need extra water, go ahead and get it. We're going back to our final round of jab, cross, hook, hook. Okay. In 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Jab, cross. Good, we're almost there. We got about 10 seconds left. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Woo. Last round of lateral 3-step to hold. Okay. Breathe deep. Got 45 more seconds of work here about, and then we'll take a rest. All right, here we go. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, hold. 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 Good. 1, 2, 3, hold. You can increase the challenge by going a little quicker, or even just bringing those knees up higher. If you need it, you might be fine just where you're at. Hold. 1, 2, 3, hold. Woo. 1, 2, 3, hold. 1, 2, 3, hold. And time. Okay, guys, take a break. We got one more superset to get through. Okay. So, let's see here. Okay, we've got, all right, I'm introducing a new one today, right at the end. Woo-hoo. I'm going to start with the standing variation because it's going to make more sense if I explain it that way. So this has got a coordination factor to it, and it's also core and conditioning work, okay? So it is back, back, forward, knee, back, forward, knee, back, forward, knee, back, forward, knee, back, back, forward, knee, okay? So you're gonna go step back, forward, and then knee. Step back, and that way you'll always end on the other one. So our variation for seated is going to be a little different. We're going to be standing up. We're going to do tap back, knee, knee. Tap back, knee, knee. Okay, so we can't get that same up, forward, and back movement, you know, when we're seated. So it looks a little different there. And then this one is not new, our rope pull. All right, so hitting the lats, hitting the core. Okay, like we're just like think you're raising the mast, you're raising the flag. I actually grab at the air like I'm pulling a rope, and I want you to think back and down. See where I end right there? Okay, same thing. All right, I end right here, right around my hips. Okay, all right. So remember, and I think for this one, I'm actually going to start with the standing because the seated one's a little more self-explanatory. If you're doing it seated, it's just tap back, knee raise, okay? I'm gonna start with the standing one for this first round because of the coordination factor of it, okay? So back, forward, knee. Here we go in 3, 2, and 1. All right, so we're gonna take a step back, forward, knee. Step back, forward, knee. So that knee that comes up is now the first leg that steps back. Step back, forward. Step back, forward. If you feel good with it, you can take the intensity up by speeding it up or keep it right where it's at. A lot of knee raises today. Hip flexor, core. And time. Okay, so rope pull. I love this exercise. Core is engaged. I'm doing that by squeezing and tucking my glutes under. So here I am regular. I'm going to tuck right here like that. Okay, that keeps my core engaged. Pull, pull. A little bit of explosiveness with it. Like you're yanking something down, right? And that elbow comes back. Keeping that core quiet, okay? Think of your glutes and the trunk of your body is quiet like a tree trunk, right? It's not moving. Only the arms are. Pull, 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 pull. 3, 2, and time. Okay, that's round 1. Last 2 rounds of cardio are making me feel the heat here, okay? Take extra drinks if you need it here. We're back to step back, forward, knee, okay? All right, here we go, and begin. Back, forward, knee. Back, forward, knee. You can take it slower if you need to than I am, or even faster, okay? Find your coordination. And if you're like me, I like to say it. I don't want to say it because I don't want to mess up your own tempo, but to say it in your own home, everyone's on mute. You can go knee, back, forward, knee. Sometimes that keeps you in check, right? All right, I've done that one, okay? Back to rope pull. Again, so here I am standing regular, and before I start my rope pull, I wanna tuck my pelvis, okay? Tuck it and squeeze my glutes. That automatically engages my core, right? Just by doing that. So squeeze the glutes, and here we go. Think of those back muscles, okay? Think of the side, underneath, behind the shoulder, underneath it, around the side. These are the muscle groups we're working here. They're the largest muscle groups in the upper body. 5 more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we've got one more round. I'm getting so sweaty on this next round. Okay, so I'm going to go to seated for my last round because I gave the demo for the back forward knee twice to kind of get you going with that one. But now I am going to do the seated one for demonstration here. Okay, here we go. Tap it back, tap it back, knee, knee. I'm finding my coordination's actually more challenged on this one. Tap it, tap it. I want to like combine my knee raise and tap back somehow. 2 and 1. Good. All done with those. Final round of row pulls. Okay. So if you're seated with me for this round, just think of standing up nice and tall through that spine. Okay. No rounding forward or anything like that. Here we go. 2, 1. Pull it back. Really drive that elbow back, back. We're done after this, guys. Think of those back muscles. Good, final 10 seconds. Two and time. All right. Nice job, guys. Take a drink. Okay. We're going to cool down real quick. All right. Whew. Felt those last 2 rounds, that accumulation of conditioning in those last 2 rounds had me feeling really hot there at the end. So let's go ahead and start with our neck and trap. You know, this is one of my favorites here. Stretching and releasing the neck. Kind of pressing and reaching down with that elongated hand and just gently applying a little pressure here. Good. Back to center. Same thing other side. Good. All right, come back to center. Let's take our palms, put them on the small of our back. We're going to pretend like our elbows can touch one another, which they can't unless you're a contortionist. And then just go ahead and lift your heart to ceiling. You should feel a nice stretch right through the shoulders and chest, all along this area right here, okay? We're often tight through here. All right, and you'll probably feel it through your forearms too from having your palms on the small of your back this way. Good, and relax and come out of that. Okay, let's go ahead and do 5 cat-cows here. All right, so we're going to, just like we did in our warm-up, we're going to round and tuck and exhale and release up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 more. And 5. Good. Now we're going to go ahead. We're going to stay seated. We're going to inhale and we're going to exhale and twist over. Okay, and look behind that back shoulder. Feel that twist of the thoracic spine there. And breathe. And then when you're ready, you're going to inhale and arc it over and then exhale and twist and look over that opposite shoulder. Good, and back to center, final stretch. Let's get our piriformis. This is our glute muscle. We're going to go ahead and cross our leg here. Okay, keep that foot flexed on that leg that's up. And then you're just going to gently lean forward. You should feel a nice stretch. It doesn't take much leaning forward to feel the stretch in your glute on that leg that is crossed and bent over, okay? Just breathe into it. I keep the foot flexed on this foot because it helps protect the knee joint here, okay? Good, and then just gently come out of that by lifting forward, placing that foot on the ground, and then doing the same thing with the other. We're gonna cross that leg, we're gonna flex the foot, all right? You might notice one side's tighter than the other. That's okay. I just notice it. And just feel the stretch and breathe through it. You're not forcing the stretch, you're not trying to make it, too challenging. And just hold, feel the stretch and hold. Good, and relax, come on out of that. Let's go ahead and we're gonna inhale it up. Palms together and down to heart. 1, and one more time, inhale up. Oops, use my water. And exhale down. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's class. It's good.
Hi, everyone. This is Z from Yonkers Public Library. Thanks so much to Sally Pinto and Alexis from Newark. Thank you to our community partners, WJCS, the City of Yonkers Office for the Aging, Friends of Crestwood Library, and Yonkers Public Library for making this phenomenal partnership. And we thank each and every one of you for being part of our wellness community. Be well, stay well.